Today we're checking out Tempest Rising, a brand new RTS from Slipgate Ironworks that bills itself as a spiritual successor to Command & Conquer. I am so excited to check this out with you guys, because it's not every day we get a high quality AA or better RTS. For this review, we'll be checking out the first two missions of both campaigns, so we can see how they play as well as check out the metagame system. So there will be very slight spoilers. Here's your warning now in case you don't want to have the first two missions of each campaign spoiled. We'll then be checking out a game of multiplayer to see how it feels against real players with the full tech tree unlocked. Hopefully this video will give you an idea of my overall impressions and a feel for how you'd like the game yourself. Okay, so with all that said, let's jump into the first campaign. We begin with the GDF campaign and meet our pal Colonel Fisher, who tells us we've lost contact with GDF Tempest harvesting operations in Iceland. It's our job to investigate.
Let's see what you can do, Commander.
According to the briefing, we need to retake the position and use a mobile construction vehicle to build a base before hunting down remaining Dynasty forces. A short cinematic shows our forces arriving to confirm that a Dynasty harvesting operation is in fact underway.
Confirmed. Dynasty activity located. Green light to engage. We're up. Let's go.
We start our mission with 4 field scouts, each equipped with mines that mark enemy targets. Using the mines, we mark the enemy and pick up a few points of intel by killing them while they're marked. Intel is a GDF-specific resource that we'll be using for various abilities later on. We get some drone operators as reinforcements, and using their remote control ability, we're able to easily clear our way towards the objective. Making our way through some light defenses, we're greeted with 2 more new units, the Riot Medic, useful for sustained healing on our infantry units, and the Sentinel, which can switch between anti-infantry fire and a marking shot, which marks its targets for even more juicy intel. We use our Sentinels to quickly mow down some enemy infantry as we make our way to rescue yet another new unit, the Grenadier. The Grenadier is perfect for dealing AoE explosive damage against clumped infantry, and a nice combined use of Grenadiers with Sentinel marking fire scores us even more intel as we push our way in towards the MCV. This gives us the perfect opportunity to use our intel on the medic ability, allowing us to heal all units within a large area. We finish clearing out enemy units before moving in to rescue our friendly MCV, taking the first main objective. After placing down a power plant, refinery, and barracks, we build up our forces and cross the bridge to the west, using our hard-earned intel to keep our units healed as we take down the last 2 SAM sites. With the SAM sites down, we can place an airstrike to get rid of the last line of Dynasty defense. After briefly healing our units, we roll up to the enemy construction yard to seal the victory.
Still in one piece. Nice work. But we're not done here yet.
We make it back to HQ and Fisher hits us with new intel. Dynasty just hit another GDF base. We have to save it and harvest as much Tempest as possible before it falls into enemy hands. We now get our first look at the Doctrine and Armory systems. Doctrines allow us to spend points to pick up linear upgrades, and we choose to go with Rapid Deployment for faster building, and Resistant Treads for faster and tankier harvesters. The Armory lets us convert points we earn from mission objectives into a permanent buff loadout, which functions similar to Doctrines but can be mixed and matched. They also depend on having the right number of spaces available. We select First Aid Kits, which will allow our infantry to heal on their own. Our briefing reminds us we need to save our harvesters, so the Doctrines we just picked up should come in handy. The cinematic sets the scene as we watch our boys roll in to witness complete and utter annihilation. As the mission begins, our boys load into 2 riot vans, a new unit capable of carrying infantry and deploying suppression fields, allowing it to stun all enemy infantry within a short radius. This makes it great for tanking and infantry battles as we rush in and stun the enemy, clearing the way to our objective. Moving forward to save our base from a large enemy attack, we get the Hunter Tank, another new vehicle perfect for taking on enemy armor. After bolstering our defenses, we're given the ability to deploy a support beacon, allowing us to construct buildings away from our main base and expand for more Tempest gathering positions. We're now able to build the Engineer, and after taking a break to regroup, we capture an enemy refinery and begin reinforcing a forward position. Using the extra resources and production obtained with our support beacons, we continue to add to our army as we swat away Dynasty scouts. We head east to begin our assault on the enemy base, but find it heavily guarded with walls, bore tanks, and turrets. We fall back and decide to switch up our strategy, patiently reinforcing our attack with more tanks, sentinels, and grenadiers, making use of our economic superiority. Once we're ready to resume the attack, we engage what's left of Dynasty forces and break through the enemy walls, making our way into the base, taking out the objective power plants to secure the victory. Jumping into the Dynasty campaign, we meet Alex, who appears to be our commander. He mentions he wants to lead his people towards their destiny in an ominous monologue before sending us on our way. We then meet Lieutenant Melnick, the intel officer who will be briefing us on our missions. We're told we'll be reclaiming Tempest from GDF forces in the Balkans. I'm sensing a common theme here. The briefing tells us to get in, harvest as much Tempest as possible, and get out. The cinematic shows a lush field of Tempest being patrolled by GDF field scouts. But the Dynasty is never far behind. We start with a squad of Dynasty guards, our bread and butter infantry, and use them to clear some light GDF defense, picking up a supply crate on our way. We see a pack of friendly igniters up ahead, running from an airstrike that takes out the bridge to our base. We take the long way around, using our igniters to clear static defenses, and move forward to find more reinforcements. Missile troopers can dash forward, making them great for hit-and-run tactics. 4 Havocs join the party, a light vehicle that can shoot missiles on the run. We also get a technician, which we use to repair our Havocs and capture the objective refinery. A countdown begins to finish harvesting as we fend off GDF airdrops and attacks on our base. The timer expires and we pack up our refinery, heading north while selling our remaining buildings. We meet heavy armored opposition, but they're no match for our good mix of missile troopers and Havocs. We dash forward with the missile troopers to pick off units at the enemy's last line of defense, and nearly dodge an airstrike that softens up the last 2 GDF tanks. We push forward to reach our escape and take the victory. Melnick welcomes us back and explains that the Dynasty kinda has a thing for gathering Tempest, implying it can provide unlimited power. She briefs us on a GDF naval force lost behind Dynasty territory, causing trouble for Dynasty operations. It's up to us to take them out.
Good luck, General.
We pull up the briefing screen and we get our first look at the Dynasty metagame, taking 2 doctrines to buff our infantry health and increase the rate at which they'll rank up. Sticking with the infantry theme, we head to the armory, and after doing a bit of browsing, we pick up the piercing ammo upgrade. This buffs the damage on our rifle units, providing good synergy with our chosen doctrines. Our briefing says the GDF have taken a Dynasty base and captured a VIP. A cutscene begins and shows our guy getting escorted out of a GDF helicopter. We of course have eyes on this situation though, and backup is close behind. We We start with 3 boar tanks, a lighter counterpart to the Hunter tank, and 3 technicians with mixed infantry. A friendly Havoc gets hit by mines, and we use our technicians to clear the way. Our boar tanks make quick work of enemy sentinels. Crossing the bridge, we get a glimpse of our target, who slips by into a friendly base before we have time to react. We push our way north towards the first objective, using a technician to capture the yard. Finally, backup arrives. While we build up, we use technicians to mine the path south to buy ourselves much needed time. Now that we're safe, we turn on distribution mode to crank out some mining rigs and boost our economy. After building up a strike force, we engage the enemy, using hit-and-run tactics with Havocs to soften up the GDF tank line. We push in and take out the data core for a secondary objective. We cut off GDF reinforcements at the western bridge and wipe them out, maintaining our numbers advantage. However, after crossing southwards, we meet fierce opposition near the enemy base, halting our attack. We rally additional units and finally reach the objective with what we have left. Melnick tells us the GDF is transporting the VIP to an airlift, so we have to hurry. We push through the east wall of the base and make a beeline for the VIP, ignoring the remaining buildings and defenses. Our Havocs catch up to the transport and take it out, freeing the VIP. With the VIP secure, victory is ours. Fresh off our Dynasty win, we queue up for a game of 1v1 with the red team. After a bit of searching, we're into our first match. For our build, we take a machine shop followed by a power plant, and hit distribution mode right away to get our economy going. After building our second mining rig with more in queue, we focus on our army. Don't worry, queuing multiple units doesn't spend resources up front in this game. After putting down our barracks, we focus on Dynasty Guard production, aiming to control neutral structures towards the middle of the map. We're forced back by 2 Hunter tanks and frantically begin production of missile troopers to counter. Our troopers dash forward to meet the tanks, using our guards as support. However, I make a huge blunder and take my eye off the infantry, and the tanks run over almost all of my units. Despite this, after a bit of fighting, we're able to finally drive our opponent back. During this time, we've built our economy up with 2 expansions, and we quickly rebuild our infantry. We head back to the middle of the map and were immediately taken off guard by a group of static defenses, forcing us back, but not before finishing off a Hunter tank. We'll either need a bigger army or a different plan of attack. I decide to rally our barracks and machine shop south, beginning production of boar tanks and porcupine rocket launchers. After building a few tanks, we decide to test our opponent, rallying towards the south side of his spawn with everything we have. We immediately encounter a turret, however our missile troopers and igniters make quick work of it. With the construction yard completely exposed, our opponent has no choice but to concede. So what are my overall thoughts on Tempest Rising? My thoughts are very positive. This was a blast to play, and it's just a great example of a reimagined, classic-style RTS made from the ground up for modern resolutions and hardware. Some of the pros are that it looks and sounds great while running buttery smooth, at least it did on my 40 series graphics card. It's got a good metagame system in the single-player mode with meaningful choices, there's clear attention to detail with a well-thought-out and varied campaign, and the voice-acted cutscenes are very nostalgic for any C&C fans out there. Some of the cons are that there's no ranked mode yet, and it can be slow to find matches with the maximum 4-person lobby. There can be clunky animations and performance issues in dialogue. There are responsiveness issues when switching between control groups, and the counters seem a little too strong in some cases, but that could just be a design choice. Overall, I'd give this game a solid 8 out of 10, and would strongly recommend giving it a try if you're at all a fan of the RTS genre. So what are your thoughts on Tempest Rising? Be sure to leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to respond. I hope you found this video useful. This is the first of my Let's Try series where I try games before you buy them. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more gaming content, and I'll see you on the next video.